Welcome to the Four Geeks Podcast, where we share everything about business, technology, growth marketing, and provide advice on how startups can build their products and predict revenue. Thank you for tuning in. Don't miss our new episodes every week. This podcast is produced by Four Geeks Productions.
All right, so we've got a pretty hefty stack of articles here, all about AI and the future of hiring.
Yeah, it's a hot topic right now.
It really is. Algorithms scanning resumes, predicting job performance. Some articles even mention AI conducting actual interviews.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right, but it's happening right now. So out of all this, what has you the most curious?
Honestly, it's how these platforms are going beyond just simple automation. Like they're claiming AI can understand the nuances of a candidate and find the absolute perfect fit even from a pool of seemingly equally qualified people.
So not just replacing that person in HR who's been sifting through resumes for years, but like actually outsmarting them.
Well, that's the bold claim, isn't it?
It is a bold claim.
And it all hinges on some very complex technology. We're talking about AI that can actually understand what your resume means, not just looking for keywords.
Okay, so instead of me trying to like stuff my resume with every single buzzword under the sun, this AI can actually understand if I've got like the real deal experience to back it up.
Precisely. It uses things like machine learning and natural language processing to connect all the dots.
So tell me more about this machine learning and natural language processing. How does that work?
Well, imagine instead of a recruiter having to go through hundreds of resumes manually, you have AI analyzing thousands in a fraction of the time. It's sifting through those resumes, and it can actually pick up on things that a human might miss.
It's like having a superpowered research assistant who never sleeps. No more accidentally tossing the perfect resume in the maybe pile because you're just exhausted.
Exactly. This is what's being referred to as automated sourcing. And it's not just about waiting for those applications to come in. It's about proactively going out and finding that best fit.
Okay, so you said automated sourcing, but then there's also something called intelligent screening, and that's where it starts to get really interesting.
Yes, intelligent screening. That's the next stage.
So break it down for me. What makes it so intelligent?
Okay, so think about traditional resume screening. A lot of it's based on gut feeling right. Maybe someone's highlighting a few keywords that catch the eye, but AI can analyze a candidate's entire history. We're talking about their projects, their skills, even how they write and communicate online.
Wow, you're right. It is getting interesting.
All to identify those candidates that have the highest potential.
It really makes you wonder about those candidates who, like, maybe have all the right stuff, but they don't fit that traditional mold. You know, like they took a different path or they have this kind of unusual background.
Oh, absolutely.
Could AI actually recognize that kind of potential?
That's a fantastic point. And it gets to one of the biggest potential benefits of AI. Because traditional hiring often misses those candidates.
Right.
The ones that have this like diamond in the rough kind of potential.
Because they don't have the right degree, or maybe they haven't been in the workforce, you know, for X number of years.
Exactly. But they have this really unique blend of skills and experiences that maybe a human recruiter wouldn't pick up on, but AI can.
So AI could actually help companies build more diverse and innovative teams because they're not held back by those old school notions.
100%. AI can help us redefine what success looks like in a candidate.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've got AI sourcing candidates, we've got it screening resumes. What about the actual interview process? Can AI handle that too?
Well, believe it or not, it's already happening. There are some platforms that are using AI to conduct video interviews.
Whoa, hold on. Are we talking about like robots judging our every blink and fidget?
Yeah, it sounds a little strange.
Because that to me seems like a recipe for awkwardness at best, or even like straight up bias creeping in.
Well, that's a really important point, and this is where the technology has to be developed and used very responsibly. So it's not about replacing human judgment altogether, but it's about giving recruiters more information, more data points.
So it's like having an assistant who can analyze that interview footage and say, hey, pay attention to this moment, or did you notice this little thing, or actually I noticed this inconsistency.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like imagine being able to replay an interview and see that a candidate's confidence really increased when they started talking with this one particular project.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just like lit up when you mentioned a certain aspect of your company's mission.
Oh, that's a good point.
Those are really valuable insights.
Okay, so maybe the robot overlords aren't taking over just yet, but this does bring up like a big question for me, which is data privacy. What's happening with all that data that's being collected? Are we trading our privacy for a shot at our dream job?
This is a question every single job seeker should be asking right now. Because as AI gets more sophisticated, it's really crucial for everyone to understand how their data is being used and how it's being protected.
So we need companies to be way more upfront about how they're using AI, what data are they collecting, how are they making sure it's being used fairly and responsibly.
Transparency is key.
Absolutely.
And as a job seeker, you have every right to ask those questions. Don't be afraid to bring up a company's AI policies during an interview.
Yeah, it shows you're informed and you're engaged. It's like checking the privacy settings on your social media, but for your career.
It's a lot to take in, right? Like we've gone from worrying about typos on our resumes to like AI analyzing our tone of voice, our facial expressions. It's a whole new ballgame.
It is.
So do we need to like start practicing our, I don't know, robot-approved interview skills? What's the game plan here for job seekers? You know, it's funny you should say that, but honestly, I don't think it's about trying to game the system at all. Because ultimately, companies want to see the real you.
Right.
Think of AI as like a tool. It helps recruiters see your qualifications in a different way, maybe even more clearly, but it doesn't replace actual skills and experience.
So my, sparkling personality can still come through, even if there's a bot watching.
100%. AI can actually make the whole interview process even more human. Imagine walking into an interview and the recruiter already has a pretty good understanding of your background.
Okay, yeah.
They've already looked at your skills, thanks to AI analysis, so that frees up time to focus on the things that really matter. Your personality, your values, how you'd fit with the company culture. It becomes more of a two-way conversation.
Okay, now that's a use of AI I can definitely get behind. Instead of grilling me on my resume bullets, we can actually have a real discussion about the job, the company, the future. I like it.
Exactly. And it really highlights the candidate experience,
Yeah.
If companies are using AI thoughtfully, it should lead to a more efficient process that's still personalized and ultimately more human.
So for our listeners who are out there, navigating this brave new world of AI-powered hiring, what would be the one big takeaway? What should they remember from all of this?
I'd say stay curious, stay informed, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Good advice.
Do a little research, see what a company's hiring practices are. If you get invited to an interview and it's going to be AI-powered, ask about the process. Make sure you understand what kind of data they're collecting, how they're using it.
Yeah, it's like anything else. Knowledge is power, right?
Yeah.
And maybe, just maybe, by understanding how AI is changing the hiring game, we can actually use it to our advantage.
I think that's a great point. It is a brave new world, but if we're all informed and engaged, we can help shape it into something that benefits everybody, companies and candidates alike.
That is a fantastic note to end on. A huge thank you to you, expert speaker, for walking us through this whole crazy world of AI and the future of hiring. I feel like we all learned a lot today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, as you're out there polishing those resumes and prepping for those interviews, remember to let your unique skills and personality really shine. The right opportunity is out there.
Very well said.
And who knows, maybe that perfect opportunity will show up in your inbox courtesy of a friendly algorithm. This has been The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.
That's all for today. Thank you all for joining us. For more ideas on how to grow your business with marketing and technology on your side, or a recap of our latest episodes, feel free to check out our 4Geeks Global social media. If you need additional help to bring out the best in your business, don't be shy and get in touch with us at 4geeks.io/contact. See you soon with a new episode.